Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. Lit. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's What's the Odds, Steve Renazizi. It's November 2nd, 2022. Big week in sports and everything. We got the World Series going on, which I love. I love for a lot of reasons now. Specifically, we got, look, football this past weekend was not good for us. Not good for the Giants, not good for the Jets if you're a Jets fan, not good for our betting purposes. We shit the bed. I mean, I really laid myself out there by being like, I think the Vegas Raiders are about to go on a run, and then they literally get fucking blanked.
I watched it last night. They had their first play in New Orleans territory at the 2-minute warning. They did not have a play on that side of the field for the entire fucking game. That was the exact opposite of a run, as far as you could be from a run as possible.
I mean, we really like Lucas. You did. I mean, I don't mean to shout you out, but I will. Like you were like the Bengals, dude. Here they go. It's never ending now. And then they lose to the fucking Browns on Monday night.
That was such bullshit. You have a great running back. Your whole thing is, no, we made the offensive line better. You're playing one of the worst run defenses in football, and you come out without Jamar Chase going, let's throw the ball. And the problem isn't the line, it's Burrow. He's holding on to the damn ball too long.
It was a weird week, dude. It was a very strange week. And there
were 5 or 6 guys that scored 3 touchdowns this week.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
It was at least 5, but it was Deontay Foreman, Christian McCaffrey, who threw, ran, and caught.
Alvin Kamara,
thank you.
Derrick
Henry, and then there was one more running back.
Can you tell that I won in fantasy, but I had no monster weeks. I have McCaffrey in one league and Derrick Henry, but
it was AJ Brown that was the other one with 3 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah, I was just like, fuck. I don't really. And then like with the trade deadline now, it's kind of flips everything around.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that are inexplicable to me, as far as like teams that seem to leapfrog over other teams, but I just, and you getting like any week that you get a bet right, that you're like, oh, you look smart on like, let's get it down to 10 points and it ends up being 10 points. That's how I know it's a disaster. So, here's the good news. I feel better about this week.
That's good.
Huh? I have a little more clear thought process as far as this week's. I mean, I really, though, the Vegas thing surprised me, like big time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I actually looked to see if Devonta Adams got hurt. Did you guys watch that game at all?
Yeah,
he was coming in with an illness.
So
I don't know if that affected him.
He had a bad tummy ache. He wasn't physically like there was no injury. It was just they didn't show up to play.
How does that happen?
It happens every now and then.
Team?
The entire team did not show up to play that game.
When I saw like one attempt, 3 yards, I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah,
this is a guy you've traded the farm away for.
People are going to be fired.
I can't remember who I was listening to. One of the fucking talking heads or something said that maybe it was Rex Ryan who said that at the trade deadline, Vegas and the Packers should just swap everything back and call it fucking even. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go, hey, we'll give you back the draft picks. You give us back Devonta Adams, the guy we obviously need, and we'll call it fucking even. Everybody, because nobody's really won I mean, if any team has looked like it needs a receiver that knows what they're doing, it's the Packers. And he's been, underutilized or not. He hasn't made a difference yet in Vegas for whatever reason, various reasons. So, I mean, it wouldn't make but obviously it didn't happen. The trade deadline to me, though, was interesting because I feel like Miami definitely got better. That has to worry you guys. That they now
they got better in the short term, but they don't have any picks they're giving away their picks.
In the short term? Okay.
They're
how about
still
if they
not
win
going
the Super Bowl
bringing
this year?
in Bradley Chubb and bringing in Jeff Wilson Jr. to back up Mostert. They're both injury prone. It doesn't make them suddenly on the same level as Buffalo or Kansas City or better. And now they don't have draft picks. And watch that. Did you watch that game? The Dolphins Lions?
I watched pieces of it, yes.
Tua
on the Red Zone
still
channel.
Cannot throw the deep ball, and Hill had to bail him out multiple times. Watch the last drive of the first quarter. There's a huge underthrow. Would have been a touchdown. 20 out of the 32 starting quarterbacks would have thrown a touchdown, hit Hill in stride. Tua's not one of them. And then the first possession the Dolphins had in the second quarter, he throws up another ball that is way short. Hill has to come back and jumps up, and he gets hit in the back. His body bends on the hit. Like, he's going to put that guy on the sideline just because he can't throw the deep ball.
So he's also going to be the guy that could possibly be the quarterback that throws him 2,000 yards, the first receiver to ever do so, which he's on pace to do. So I don't hear. I mean, let me tell you,
not if he gets hurt.
Not. Well, obviously not if anyone. If
I'm just saying,
you can do that with anyone.
But yeah, Tua's putting him in vulnerable positions, though.
Well, speaking of getting hurt, they also picked up a guy that would like to go after Josh Allen and hurt him. Nick Chubb is no.
Bradley
what's his
Chubb.
name?
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb is no joke on the end. And if healthy, he's a guy that can go after a quarterback. So it has to. They did not get. They used the collateral basically that they got from San Francisco to go out and get some good pieces. And I think that they got better. I don't know how, and I'm hearing I'm seeing like power rankings on Instagram, or whatever, like different NFL. Like, how is Baltimore ranked above Miami? Can you explain that to me?
Well, they got Roquan Smith.
Yeah, I get
he's
that.
He's one of the best young linebackers on an already. I mean, the Ravens secondary.
The defense wasn't great.
Their issue, but they're getting better. They've gotten better every week as they've gotten a little bit healthier. And then they still have Lamar Jackson. They still have Mark Andrews. They have a very good, even though they don't have a running back, they have a very good running game.
J.K. Dobbins is out for the rest of the year. I don't see that. I mean,
the NFL power rankings are looking at who would you rather have at quarterback? Would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Tua? And they're saying Lamar Jackson.
But as a team overall, the weapons that Miami has, and if they can somehow or another talk Beckham into coming down there, it's like
Tua is one hit away from being done for a long time, if not forever.
Dude, again, everyone is one hit away from being out for a year at least.
I get that, but he's
low blow.
Even
Josh
more
Allen
so.
Picks a knee.
Even more so, though.
Okay, but I'm just saying, injury aside, all weapons on the field healthy. They are a much more dangerous team today than they were 48 hours ago. I think they've shored up some problems. Whether that shows up on the field, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they made the most move. And again, the Baltimore thing confuses me. I understand they got the linebacker, but to me, I'm like, I don't see them consistently put together. Like, whenever I watch pieces of their games and stuff, they're always like, we see Lamar Jackson like having to do something special to get anything done. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're moving the ball and then he does something remarkable that makes it even better. Like the way the Bills offense works. It's like they move the ball and then Josh Allen on a 3rd and 3 will fucking run for 17 yards or whatever. Like, does something incredible and extends things. But to me, it's like I'm seeing them in 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs consistently, and it doesn't seem like an offense that's really clicking right now at all on any set. So to me, I'm like, I don't look at them as a dangerous in the AFC. I mean, They are like second tier, bottom second tier to me. Miami's above them. Obviously, you got the Bills and the Chiefs above them, but
Baltimore, they play everybody close. They just have a real problem closing games out.
Yeah. And that's why, like, you're making good points, but the fact that they still have a winning record, they're in first place in their division, and they haven't played to their peak ability says that they are a dangerous team.
The Giants are in third place in their division,
which is crazy. It's 6-2.
The last place team is 4-4. The Commanders are 4-4.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It really is. And I got to be honest. I don't want to do it too soon, but why not? Because I don't care if it really jinxes them. But the Eagles look like they may run the table on this thing. Pull up the schedule and see who you would, if you're the Eagles playing the way the Eagles are playing right now, who you think you are. You're like, oh, fuck. They don't run into the Chiefs. They don't run into the Bills.
Do you want me to share a screen this?
Go for it.
All right. Oh, host has to enable it. All right, I'll just list them up. They play Houston tomorrow.
Done.
And then Washington.
Yep. Done.
And then the Colts.
Done.
Packers.
Done.
Titans.
Probably yes.
New York Football Giants.
I hate to say it, but you never know. Probably yes.
Chicago Bears.
Done.
Dallas Cowboys.
Probably their toughest game.
Saints.
Depending, but probably easy to beat.
And then they end the season again with the Giants.
The Cowboys. There are two.
Is that last game
hurdles.
In Philadelphia or in New Jersey?
It's in Philadelia.
Yeah. So
they're going to lose two of those games.
You don't have I don't even see I would be worried if you saw San Francisco up there. I'd be worried if you saw Miami up there. I'd be worried if you saw the Bills. I'd be worried if you saw the Chiefs. But you don't see any of the big names that you're like, fuck. Okay, that's gonna be. I mean, look, the Cowboys are and the Giants, obviously, but they do look better than. When I watch the games every week, they look better than the Giants. Obviously, they are better than the Giants. I mean, not to say the Giants couldn't step up and beat them or stay competitive and sneak one out, but it's not going to be a game where I'm like, if I'm the Eagles, I'm like, fuck, we got to really prepare. And the Cowboys, that's going to be the big one for them. Other than that, we could be. And I'm not saying they probably even want to run the table, but because look, who really wants to go into the playoffs undefeated?
If they lock up the 1 seed, they're not going to want to start, Hurts and AJ Brown and key members of the defense. They're going to rest people. So I don't think it'll happen. I don't think they're going to run the table. They'll lose two of those games. Even Thursday, Houston's a trap game. They play teams tough and they prevent the big plays with their defense. They give up a lot of yards, but it's all in front of them.
Houston on the money line. Let's do it.
Yeah, the odds
plus
are great.
550. It's plus 550, I think.
Let it ride. There's one or two games in there that even though right now, stuff changes so fast. Miami was in first place and then they lose 3 straight because of a couple of injuries. So you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't see them going 17-0. I know their schedule looks good now, but even like Green Bay, their defense will figure it out and their receivers after time will get better and better with Rodgers. I think that's just a chemistry thing. It's just an issue of he didn't play in the preseason. And these guys are all rookies, and they'll become a better team. And then I think the Giants, division rival, they're playing good football. You could steal one of those games.
Oh, no, I agree.
The Cowboys
keep momentum going.
The Cowboys will play them better than they did the first time. So there's 2 games in there that the Eagles lose.
Maybe.
And it could happen this Thursday. Short week. You're overlooking this opponent. You're starting to get all that. You're going undefeated.
Are you going to tell me right now? Are you going to tell me right now you're going to side? Are you side betting the fucking Texans on the money line against the Eagles this week?
I may not do the money line, but let me pull up.
I think it's
spread?
like 15 or 14.
Yeah, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
15 or 14. Give me that action. You're going to give me 15 points?
I hate to say
And I
it, but
think the
they look
game's
like the
in
fucking
Houston.
Bills of the NFC, dude. They
14
score almost at will.
14 points at home.
Yeah.
Give me that action. Yeah, I'm going to side bet that.
You really, I mean, look, 14's
I'm putting
a
the
lot.
ticket in right now. I know it's a lot. That's too much. That's a 10-point game.
I don't know, dude.
Hey, we thought the Bills were going to smash the Packers, and they came in backdoor covered and covered the 10.5 points. So the same thing could happen. I mean, you look at Jalen Hurts' stats so far this year. He does all of his damage in the second quarter, and they dominate the first half. And then his stats in the fourth quarter are basically nothing. So the same thing could happen. They could just coast through the second half. Give me 2 touchdowns. I could deal with that. Granted, Brandon Cooks is pissed because he didn't get traded. So there's probably the locker room's probably not great right now in Houston, but Dameon Pierce is a really good player.
He is a good running back. What do you guys think as far as I mean, the Bills made a small move, and you were saying that I think it's an upgrade.
It is, but at the same time, they don't have a bruising running back. They traded away Zach Moss, who is the only guy who would fit that bill of someone that you give the ball and he smashes up the middle. And they traded for a guy who is better than the other 2 guys that are the same exact running back as Hines.
Okay.
He's the guy who gets to the edge and can catch passes. That's what Singletary and that's what Cook are. It was a slight upgrade, but it's still a lateral move for the offense where you don't have a guy that, Hines goes out and now you bring in a dude who's 220 pounds and he's just going to smash through that line at the goal line or whatever. You don't have that dude. It's still Josh Allen.
You need Ron Dane.
We need somebody with some size.
Ron Dane.
Yep.
He was a Heisman winner, wasn't he?
I don't know. Remember?
I think he was. And then the Giants took him first round.
Yep.
That's why Barkley would have been good if we could have traded for Barkley because he is that dude and he is different than those guys.
Hands off. Okay. You're not talking at some fucking 2-1-6 Carolina Panthers team where you could just fucking, hey, you pussies, give us your fucking
I mean, honestly,
money.
If we could have traded
give us your Christian
for
McCaffrey.
a Deontay Foreman, probably wouldn't have had to pay that much, and that would have been that piece that would have been, a different piece of the offense that maybe could have panned out in Buffalo. I think it's still a fine trade. We're definitely not keeping him after this year. He's the 12th highest paid running back. So
this sounds like disappointment to me, though.
It is a little bit.
You wish you got a personal level.
On a personal level, I have James Cook in every best ball team I drafted, and he was coming on last week, and I was in a position where if he had become a guy, I could have made a lot of money, and now this throws a wrench into it.
I knew it. I knew there was a fucking selfish reason.
I would have liked more offensive line depth. We did get a safety. It was a lesser talked about trade, but we did trade for some safety depth. And
remember, OBJ is always out there.
Yeah, he's
still out there.
Probably coming to Buffalo. It seems that way. But even if he
goes
doesn't,
to Miami. What if he goes to Miami?
Well, then Tua has another weapon to underthrow. So there you go. Tua doesn't scare me. Tua does not scare me. Buffalo is still the better team in that division, and they're still the team that
I agree with you.
Best chance to get through Kansas City. It's
my only thought
Kansas
is
City until someone beats them.
If I was the first place team, if I was like the Giants, and then the Eagles made the biggest splash and got significantly better at the trade deadline, it wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't, but it would be not a cause for concern, but it would be on my radar.
Yes. So
especially knowing I got to play them again.
They've upgraded their
run
defense.
First time, right?
They've upgraded their pass rush a little bit, but Miami still has secondary issues. And if you go and look at the box score of that Lions game, between the two of those teams, there were 600 yards of offense in the first half. So the Dolphins secondary can't stop anybody. That's still a very glaring issue. And Buffalo is a team with a lot of weapons that if they want to bring Chubb on a blitz, Josh is just going to get rid of the ball very quickly.
No, of course, dude. He's got run pat or RPOs and stuff. I've been playing Madden with fucking Josh Allen all week. We're doing a little Madden tournament at the house between me and the boys.
Yeah. So the Dolphins, yes, they got a little bit better, but I'm happy that they don't have draft picks now going forward.
Are you when is that game? When's the rematch back in Buffalo? Dolphins.
It's the day after my birthday, I believe. I think it's December 19th. Is that a Sunday? Or no, it's the day before. It's the 17th. They're playing a Saturday game.
All right. Fucking Saturdays. Oh my God. When does that start? Soon? No.
Pretty
we got a
soon.
month before.
Oh no, I'm
God.
sorry. I'm sorry. They play on my actual birthday. Sunday, December 18th.
Look at that.
Time is to be determined, so they may flex it out to Sunday night football.
They should.
They should if the Dolphins are able to win. I mean, they have the Bears, then they have the Browns, then they have the Texans, the 49ers.
What about the Bears getting Claypool? Are they trying to make a move here?
The Bears are fucking.
What,
you know that
that was
it's the same GM that passed on Claypool to get Kmet a couple years ago. And then he could have traded his later pick and gotten him in the same round. He could have traded up to get him, and he didn't do that either. And now you're giving up too much to get Claypool. Like the Bears are terrible, and the fact that Roquan Smith they basically gave away for free. Like the Bears are awful.
I like that the Steelers are even though that they are completely out of it, realizing that this is the first time in a long time they're sellers at the deadline. They did what they like. All right, we can shore up. We can get the cornerback that we wanted. So let's get rid of what we have extra of. They get rid of a receiver. They get a draft pick, and then they give the draft pick to the Commanders, and then they get the cornerback that they were looking for, who's not happy there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like it may not affect so much this year, but going forward, they're going to be a better team next year defensively because of that.
And that was the guy that they wanted to draft and they couldn't get him.
So look, maybe it worked out for everyone. Maybe everyone will be happy, but it could be a Vegas deal where it's like, fuck, you wish the grass is always greener on the other side till you go step on it. Yeah. And you realize there's chemicals all over it.
But Justin Fields gets a weapon. So he's been playing really good. So we'll see if that gets them in a direction. But their defense has been spiraling other than the New England game. And now you take away the heart and soul of that defense. And it's probably going to be rough sailing for the next few weeks. So,
I haven't really watched many Bears games. Is it just like let the guy be the guy kind of situation that they're doing now over there? Basically. Is that why he's been better at
they're running
last couple of weeks?
They're running packages that are essentially just Justin Fields take off and run, or Justin Fields makes something happen and then throw a deep ball to Mooney or whoever. And they're kind of figuring out that he's the best player. And Khalil Herbert's been coming on pretty good. Montgomery's been solid. Cole Kmet sucks. Should have drafted Claypool to begin with. But yeah, Claypool will open things up. And if they can connect, you know, I would start taking the overs on a lot of these Chicago games unless there's weather because they don't have a defense now.
Yeah, they just gave up their best defensive player.
Mm-hmm. And they play Miami this week.
Ooh.
So
let it go, dude. Let it fly.
Over.
Do you guys want to do the Nets, the World Series, or what else did I have? There was something else I want to do. Nets. Well, do the Nets or the World Series right now.
Tell me what's happening with the Nets.
Well, in case you've been living under a rock for the last 48 hours, Brent.
Which I have.
The Nets, who are really the real housewives of the NBA. It's the greatest. They are. There is beyond like for what should be a really good basketball team. They are like, thank God for the Nets. It's really taken the heat off the Knicks. The fact that they've been so inept for the last, how many years, 8 years or whatever, give or take a year here and there. But the Nets have old uber talented people, have made decisions that have been baffling. And they have, I don't even know what direction they seem to be going in. So I guess what happened was two things happened. Kyrie Irving, who, basically had his whole thing last year with the vaccine, I guess he tweeted out a link to a movie that's anti-Semitic. I don't know what a movie, video, something like that. And then, in the light of what's going on right now with the fucking Yee, people are hypersensitive. They went ballistic, and then people started distancing themselves from him. But this guy, he loves this. This is what he says he doesn't, but anyone that he loves it. And people, it's very quiet. Who doesn't tweet out anti-Semitic things? Michael Jordan. I've never seen him tweet anything that was like, oh boy, what the fuck is now we finally know what Michael Jordan thinks about this. But anyway, that's not my point. So Steve Nash doesn't know what to do. He's out of the loop. They fire Steve Nash. They continue to lose on the court. And then now they're hiring Umi Aduku. I think I'm saying that right, but I'm probably not. Who was the Celtics coach last year that got him to the finals and got fired at the beginning of this year because I guess he hooked up with one of the fucking ladies that works for the Celtics. And, I think that's why they fired him. That's what I had heard. It was like inappropriate workplace conduct, suspended him for a year, and the league didn't do anything. So then what happened? The Nets go, we'll hire him. And the Celtics just let him go. So now he's going to become the Nets coach. Now, he wasn't assisted for the Nets, so he's got ties there. But overall, it's like that's done now. And now the Nets are going to try, I guess, to use the pieces they have. Meanwhile, they still have Ben Simmons, who absolutely, you talk about a person who is people bend backwards to make this guy happy. Give him time, give him mental space, whatever. And I have never seen a player that's so bad, that has gotten so bad. Like this guy, he was supposed to be a defensive lockdown guy. Shows nothing, no defense, can't shoot. Is not on the same page with all the other players. If they got like Kyrie Irving, too many. It's like they have no idea, no direction whatsoever. One minute they want to be KD wants to be traded, then he wants to try to make it work. The fucking GM is Australian. Sorry, dude. This is an American
be GMs.
Game. No,
it's an international game now.
Not unless your name's Luke Longley. Okay, I know that guy. That's the Australian basketball player I know. I heard their GM. I think his name's like Sean Marks or something like that. And he's all right. Hey, mate. And I'm like, what? No wonder the fucking inmates run the asylum here. You got a fucking British prisoner running your team. I'm sorry, dude. That's your main problem. Get rid of it. You have to have someone else. You can't have an Australian run your basketball team. I'm not saying they're not good basketball players, but this is an American. This is the Brooklyn Nets. We can't have an Australian.
I don't think you're supposed to shit on foreigners while wearing a red hat in this country. It's a bad look, Steve.
I do look like a MAGA fucking.
Yeah, you look like you just came from Mar-a-Lago. Let's get all the foreigners out of our great American game.
I love this hat, and I love the redness of it. Vote next week, guys. Get the vote out.
The white polo T-shirt too. It really, it's a Trump look.
Yeah, like this. Either that, or I look like Forrest Gump. Like, look, guys. January 6th was a small little thing. That's not the fucking point.
It was a tour,
right?
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about this, by the way, that this whole like just get on the anti-Semitic thing. Like, why? Like, does Kanye really speak for a mass amount of people? I always thought people looked at Kanye like it was a situation where it's like, all right, he's a fucking artist and he's going to be a very weird person and generate headlines because of his fucking strange ways. But nothing I never took him seriously at all. Now, I'm not saying obviously what he didn't say was
You've
serious,
been off Twitter too long, Steve. There are thousands and thousands of accounts that are created just to support celebrities. and he's one of them that has a huge following. They're essentially cult
What does that
members.
mean? Like a fan club? Is this a fan club we're talking about here, Brett?
It's another level of fan club. It's literally a cult, and they will follow him, and nothing he can do no wrong. He is a messiah to them. It's just,
according to
go ahead
to page 6. Fans are starting GoFundMe's to make him a billionaire again.
Yeah,
that's a pretty. He did lose a lot of money in a couple days.
About 400 billion.
Yeah, like it's. I'm sorry, dude. They got the Jews have a strong pimp hand. They have a very, very heavy, strong pimp hand. And again, I'm not saying anything that he said was correct or anything like that, but they let him know very quickly, within a week and a half, who runs the show. He lost every companies that I had never even heard of before were dropping him. I didn't even know that he had deals with companies. Balenciaga, I didn't even know there was a real, I thought that was a misspelling of a different thing. And I couldn't even believe all these different places, every single one of them. I mean, is there a company besides his fan base that has stuck by him?
His own company, I think, is still behind him.
Well, I mean, obviously, but like he closed schools, his own schools.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if those are the people that worked there that did it, but like everybody like is gone. So like, I guess, yeah, the idea, what I'm wondering is like, I guess he obviously is powerful enough that he has an influence enough, but like, I didn't really believe that people took what he said seriously. And again, what he did say was serious, but in the context of taking it seriously.
Yeah, there were
that he has enough followers, real followers who would actually listen and like abide by what Kanye's thought process is. Like there are people that I love, artists that I love, that I'm like, I could never live the way they live. I like the way they think sometimes is beyond my even understanding or even caring to. But I guess with him, I just thought he made like music and some weird clothes. That's honestly what I thought it all ended at. It's
our culture, dude. There's a handful of those people like him, Taylor Swift, Harry Styles. If they were like, go murder 10 people for me tomorrow, that people would do it. There would be mass murders.
Harry Styles, I get. That I get.
I mean, after his residency at the Forum, who wouldn't?
I'm just thinking to myself, like, where is he gonna go? Like, what is Kanye gonna like? Is there an apology situation that can get him out of this?
Probably not.
That gets him back to, and then the Kyrie, blending it into the Kyrie thing, like it seemed like they were right on top of each other. Like, in what world did Kyrie think that sending a link out to that, like he does, obviously that has like his own sort of thought process, and this is different than the vaccine thing because this is not, that was a personal thing. This seems to be just sort of pointing something out at a very bad time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the Nets are fucking there, and like for a team that they have arguably, two of the top 10 players in the NBA on one squad. You should have a pretty fucking decent squad with an owner who doesn't mind to spend money in a city that's like the biggest market. You could easily steal that city if you had a fucking, but they can't get this shit together. And everyone keeps talking about Kyrie being young, by the way. Like, he was young when he won a championship with LeBron on the Cavs. Like, do you know how long ago that was?
For 8 years ago?
Yeah, dude. He's won championships on other teams since then. Yeah,
he's 30 now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not young anymore, dude.
Well, what's the prime in basketball? When do they start deteriorating?
After
he's
32.
Probably, yeah, he's probably in it.
Yeah.
It's like,
so he's still technically young. He's in it.
He's saying like young in the sense of like, I'm just saying like to know the ramifications of what, like, younger guys say things, younger players say things, they do things sometimes. And,
Yeah.
it's because like, this is not like, this is who he is. This is who, and I don't even know. Well, you think there'll be backlash? Who knows? I don't know. What I do know is that the Nets have brought in the Anti-Defamation League to sort things out. But no joke, this is for real. They're going to be like the arbitrators of what's going on here with Kyrie Irving. So this isn't over yet.
Can they get like Amari Stoudemire to be a coach there? Maybe that's what they need. He's like a rabbi now. Have you seen that?
He was on
Real
some show
Sports.
this morning. Yeah, Real Sport. He's a Jew. Yeah, he's a rabbi now. He went to like Israel to go become to like learn everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jewish people, Ari Shafir's special Jew comes out today. Today's November 2nd. So go to his YouTube channel and watch it. Speaking of Jews. Because let's do something good for the Jews for once. Huh? Yeah, no, it'd be great to have Amari Stoudemire go figure. And he was a fucking Nets assistant coach too.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. They all right, so that's the Amari thing. Oh, by the way, do you think they asked Duduku like, hey, you can't fuck anybody you can't fuck anybody that works here? Like without do you think they had to say it? They have to say it this time.
It's probably in his contract.
It wasn't the first time, and now it's probably in his contract. Like you can't fuck anybody.
No inappropriate. We're not paying you a penny if you do this.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he's like, is it in there? And his lawyer is like, yeah, it's in there. And he's like, oh, fuck, I fully expect it. Do you think we can ask to take it out? And they're like, probably not. This one's going to have to stay. You're not Kyler Murray playing fucking Call of Duty. How do you do, by the way, this week? Because the game's been out for a week now. The numbers dropped?
The numbers, they've been steady. I think getting DeAndre Hopkins, like his numbers have been pretty good. Hopkins is playing out of his mind, but this last week they lost to the Vikings, but it was largely because they had a couple of big turnovers on special teams, much like the Giants. And then there was a hit on Hopkins in the end zone that should have been a helmet to helmet that wasn't called. So I believe that was either a failed 2-point conversion or it was a turnover on downs. They might have gone for it on fourth down. And it should have been called, and it should have been like first and goal. So they lost, but he's playing, Kyler Murray football. He hasn't fallen off, but it's not like amazing.
I have thoughts on them this week for my picks. But speaking of the Giants, they just look tired. They look like they look sloppy. This is the first sloppier game.
Richie James did no favors for them.
Nope.
He put them in really bad positions. They were pretty decent against Kenneth Walker, who is quickly becoming one of the best running backs in the league. And he didn't torch him. He did pretty well, but he didn't blow the game open. And they covered
and
Metcalf
Geno Smith,
well,
dude. Geno Smith looked fucking good. Geno Smith had made no mistakes, made all the throws he had to, made extra throws because Tyler Lockett dropped a couple balls.
Doink.
One off of his helmet. That he had one he caught that he fumbled on the goal line. So as far as people doing what they were asked to do, and I think that the Walker kid takes a lot of pressure off him because now they can hand the ball. They don't have to have.
Well, they wanted to be a run first anyway. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball.
Yes, of course. So, but now they can do that, not have to change who they are, and not ask too much of him. So. Again, this is going to go to my picks, Seattle and Arizona this week. I've got a hunch, guys. All right, let's put a pin in it. I want to talk about
the party.
What? Oh, the 8th grade party?
You had a euphoria party at your house?
Yeah.
People made out in the woods and Tracy lost her mind. Well, we don't know if they made out. We don't know if they made out. What happened was all the boys got here at like 7:30. They were hanging out in the basement. We ordered 6 pizzas. There's gonna be 20 kids, right? And wings. The boys ate 3 pizzas in like a minute and a half. And then at around 7:30, like 6 girls showed up, or 7 girls, all together, all wearing the same costume, all with backpacks. And they came in the front door. They didn't go through the basement because I had the basement and open to the garage. So if you wanted to go through that way and hang out down there, they came to the front door, right? all of them. They looked like pirate. What are those pirate wenches or whatever? Like they had like pirate gear on shit. But so they walk in. There's like 6 or 7 of them. One goes downstairs, right? Slowly down the stairs to the basement, turns, looks, sees that no boys are in costumes, and immediately runs up the stairs, shouts at the girls they're not in costumes, and they scamper to all the bathrooms in the house to change. Ran on my main floor, I got 2 bathrooms. 4 went to one bathroom, 3 went to the other. And my wife and I are sitting down. I'm like, Tracy, what's going on? She goes, they have to change. They feel self-conscious. So they're going to change. I go, how are they fitting into the bathroom? She goes, girls can fit into the bathroom. So about 20 minutes later, 7 girls come out, and now my entire main floor smells like Bath and Body Works. It was like I had to crack windows to get fucking air, breathable air in this place. They go downstairs, everyone's hanging out. All of a sudden, Jonah comes down, my youngest son, with his iPad, and he goes, "You want me to go downstairs and check what's going on?" I go, "Absolutely." We called him the thermometer. Okay, right? He goes downstairs. He's down there for 20 minutes. All of a sudden, Tracy's like, "Son of a bitch." On Jonah's TikTok page, he has made 2 TikToks with girls downstairs of like the different fucking dances that they do. So Ferris Bueller is loving it down there. He's having the time of his life. But, now we're having problems getting the thermometer back in to test to tell us what the temperature is. Because you'd hear like roars of like screaming and yelling, like the house was on fire. And then it would get very quiet. And she'd get nervous. Tracy would start to pace around the house, like, what's going on? And I would check the Ring cameras and shit. I'm like, they're on the driveway. They're outside. They got to like get out. They got to like run around. Meanwhile, these kids haven't been, like, if you think about it, it's been like, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how, unless they're doing this, they don't know how to do this. So it was like weird to watch them hang. The boys were just like, ugh. They don't even say anything to each other. Like, they bump into each other and they make sounds and shit. And the girls are all weird. Everyone's weird. So they're out in the, and I have a driveway that goes down, like, it's a kind of a long driveway. So there's woods next to it. So everyone's exploring the area, right? And she's like, it's too quiet. So the thermometer comes up. I go, what's going on? He goes, well, number 1, I made some TikTok videos. And number 2, I think people are making out in the woods, but it's all good. I go, Tracy's like, shut it down. We can't go out there. She goes, we have to go out. She goes, you need to go and take a lap. I go, I'm fine. I go, what am I going to go out there with a hose and hose them down? Put the sprinklers on? What do you want me to do? So I go out, right? And everyone, you could tell, like, it was like the fucking music at the party just stopped. And all of a sudden, Jax comes up and like, hey, Dad, hey, what's up? Hey, Dad. I got super attentive. And like, I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, nothing. Nothing. I go, is everyone having fun? He's like, yeah. I go, all right, I'm just coming out to check, make sure everyone's doing well. And then a couple of his friends were like, hey, can we take a picture with you? Because now, they were all on the football team. And I mean, I think it's too young, but some of them are starting to watch the league. So it's all trickling down. So I'm now in their wheel. I thought it was Paul Blart, Mall Cop. Tracy's like, no, it's the league. So now I am now around, like, the whole party's around me taking a picture, right? So we take our picture. I go, everyone, just do me a favor, right? Be respectful of each other, and I've got some nice shit. Don't break it. That's it. Just, and have fun. I go back upstairs. The thermometer stays down there. And then, it wasn't that bad. 11:30, the music, everyone started leaving. 11:30, everybody was gone. Okay. Jackson had to go clean up the next day. We asked him, did anything go? He goes, no, I don't think anyone made out. Or, so it's like, I know it wasn't him, but I think some people fucking made out. That's all. But everything was consensual. Everything was above board. And it's just fucking, people, I don't know. Dude, I made out in 5th grade. When did you make out? Last week, Brenton?
Probably, it was probably 22, 23.
Oh, my God. Lucas.
5th grade.
5th grade, dude.
Yeah,
5th grade.
That was the time.
So, yeah. It's normal. But the thermometer had a good time. I think he was taking notes for his future parties, dude.
Oh, they're going to be off the rails.
Well, that kid's for sure going to be the Bachelor.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, dude. He said he broke up with his girlfriend, but then they got back together. I think maybe she saw the TikTok videos. It's a wild scene, dude. He's like the new the Nets of the fifth grade.
So it all happened within 2 hours.
Yeah.
They broke up, reconciled, and broke up again.
So yeah, the party was fun. That was good. And then our regular Halloween was great. Everyone had a good time. Did trick or treating. Everyone had blasts.
But the calendar turns, and we are on our way to turkey parm season, baby.
Oh my God, dude!
Cannot wait.
Turkey. I had chicken parm last night.
No, man, you gotta have turkey parm. I'll send you the recipe.
Dude, if you ever send me that recipe, I'm gonna send you back a dick pic. I'm gonna send you dick pics. So many dick pics, you'll be buried in dick pics. Okay, I don't want that turkey parm recipe even in anywhere in my vicinity.
It's so good.
No, I am excited about. I mean, it's Christmas now. That's all one out of every 3 commercials is a Christmas commercial now.
Yeah, so, every store here in LA is already flipped. And then we went to Disneyland yesterday. It's all Christmas stuff in the gift shops.
Yeah, that's it. It's over now. It's the end of the year. Wrap it up.
November 1st.
Speaking of wrapping it up, the World Series. Let's do this because I am so happy. I am beyond the fact that the Yankees were a disaster in the playoffs. This is my favorite thing to happen in a very long time as far as baseball is concerned. This changed my tune. What happened last night? Look, the Phillies on paper were not supposed to be here. They have like 30 wins less than the fucking Astros, but they gutted out a great game 1. They split down in Houston. They lost game 2. And then what they did last night, and the team that they did it to, the irony of it is amazing to me. The fact that they had whatever film, whatever take, whatever tell they had on Lance McCullers Jr., they sat on it. They trusted in it. They let their one of their best hitters, the guy that's like, you know what? I'll go up there and see if this thing's legit. Kevin Long, their hitting coach, former Yankee hitting coach, by the way, fired by the Yankees, but that's okay. He must have got in some sort of film he was watching a tell on Lance McCullers Jr. that his leg kick when he throws the changeup or an off-speed pitch was about significantly less than his fastball leg kick. I mean, I'm talking like 6 to 8 inches. And they showed it. I watched some film on it today, and it's like if you look at it, you go, oh, okay. If I saw that and I knew that was going to happen, it's a pretty big tell. And Bryce Harper trusted it in the first inning. He hit a 2-run home run and immediately went over, said, hey, man, this is what you believe in it. And, they did something that hasn't been done in the world. I think they hit 5 home runs in the first two or three innings. And, you feel terrible for Lance McCullers Jr. out there, not knowing what's going on. He must know I'm giving something away. I don't know what I'm doing but you must feel like you're like, I don't even want to throw it. I don't even want to throw the ball. It's got to be a terrible feeling for a pitcher to have to be like, oh shit, they know what I'm throwing. And to have it happen to the Astros, a team that tried to do the same thing, but illegally and got busted for it. They essentially stole that game last night. Stole the game. They put it out of reach before it was ever in reach. They utilized that fucking tell, and they didn't sit on it. They go, and to the Phillies' credit, Dusty Baker kept Lance McCullers in the game. I mean, he gave up 7 runs, 5 home runs. At some point, you got to go, this guy either doesn't have it or they know exactly what he's throwing. I don't know why they left him in there that long, but they did. So to me, I'm like, they took full advantage of the opportunity they were given. They stole a fucking game in the World Series. They're up 2-1 now, and they only have to get 2 games out of the next fucking 4 games. 2 out of 4, and they can do that. And that stealing that game yesterday, or not even stealing it, but taking that game yesterday, that to me is that's a baseball team. That's a team that trusts each other and believes in each other. And it was remarkable. I mean, I couldn't tell watching it. John Smoltz was saying like he's probably tipping his pitches. He probably is doing something like that. But you don't know. He knows, but I couldn't tell last night. Did you guys watch the game?
I was at Disney.
Oh. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Did you see any video on it today?
I haven't watched video on it, but I
Lucas, if
read
you
up
could pull
on
up
it
some
on Twitter.
video. I don't. Oh, we don't. There's a video. I think it was
You
on
can share. I
ESPN's
enabled.
Instagram. It was on ESPN's Instagram or someone. I can't remember whose Instagram.
Bryce
it was, but it
Harper, by
showed,
the
like,
way, hitting 400 in the postseason is crazy.
I saw a video of Bryce Harper. He was 6'1" and 175 pounds at 12 years old, throwing 75 miles an hour.
It makes sense.
Yeah. No, the kid's a savant. He's a baseball savant. And, guys that want to come up big in big situations that like dream about playing in those situations forever. When you watch them do it, it's amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
When he's like, I even like when he hit the home run and to get them to the World Series. And remember he turned around in the dugout. He's like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, you have those moments where you're like, holy shit, it's all fucking coming together. I can't believe that just happened, but it did.
Yeah.
For him, it's like he's thought about it, but it is like watching it. He plays with the enthusiasm of a kid and the joy of a kid, and that's fun to watch, and the talent of a fucking beast. So, yeah, that's what guys that you give 13 years and hundreds of millions of dollars are supposed to do.
Yeah, he's paying off for sure.
Yeah. Especially if they can sneak a World Series out of this. I mean, also on top of that, you go to 4 World Series in 6 years. I think the Houston Astros have been to 4 in the last 6, and you only win 1. If they lose this one, that's not great. That's the Atlanta Braves, right?
Uh-huh.
Think about it. The Atlanta Braves in the 90s went to how many? 7 straight AL or NLCSs, and they went to like 4 or 5 World Series. They only won 1.
So I'm looking up Mattress Mac news.
Oh, I can't wait till that fucking guy loses.
He was front row last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was getting heckled pretty bad. So Caesars Sportsbook is saying that the fact that they will either turn a profit or not turn a profit in the fourth quarter depends on if the Astros win and they have to pay Mattress Mac $30 million. So he put $10 million in bets across numerous sports books that the Astros will beat the Phillies. And that includes a $3 million wager placed in May with Caesar Sportsbook at 10-1 odds. So yeah, basically, if you don't want Caesar Sportsbooks to go under, cheer hard for the Phillies.
That's exactly what I want to happen. I want Mattress Mac. I want Caesars to do well. First time in my life I've ever rooted for casino.
We're cheering for the house.
I'm cheering for the fucking house, dude. Because honestly, it's like, who wants to see? Nobody wants to see the Astros win. No one, nobody, and no one is rooting for them. I don't even like their fans. I don't like anything about them. So,
Jesus, he's set to make $75 million in total.
I know
all the various stuff. That's stupid.
I heard that, and I'm like, is it all just because is he riding a run based on the Houston Astros alone? Or is this guy gambling? I mean, I don't really care, but like, is this guy gambling? Like, was he always this way of putting these large sums down? Or is he just like, I believe so much in the Astros that this is what I'm going to do?
I think it's a very recency bias thing of the Astros have been very, very good for a number of years. And he is so smart. It's like, okay, I'm going to make this $3 million bet in May, and I'm going to leverage it with, I'm going to give you all your mattresses for free if you spend $3,000 or more at my shop. So really, he's not losing that much money if the Astros lose, because he's increased his sales and he's increased his national, free advertising. Everyone knows Mattress Mac now.
Fuck that guy. I mean, bring back the Marlin Man. That's the guy I love. The guy that wears the Marlins jacket in the back.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some picks because I want to be the next Mattress Mac. I have my thoughts.
Well, lead us off, Steve.
Well, I kind of alluded to it earlier on in the cast, but I really like the Seattle Seahawks. I'd like them to win the game. I like them on the money line in Arizona to beat Arizona in Arizona. I think that they run the ball well. Geno Smith is a very accurate passer, doesn't turn the ball over. And their defense is pretty good. DK Metcalf looked good last week. Tyler Lockett had a touchdown and dropped another one and gave up one on the goal line, so they could have had more points. I think that Arizona is not for real, and I can't wait to watch the Hard Knocks whenever it starts back up when they're covering East
that might be
whatever week they're starting with.
Is that next week it starts? I think it's next week.
I have no idea. Yeah, but I mean,
they started filming maybe week 8, and then it either comes out this week or it starts next week.
Great, because I think it's going to be interesting. But I think
the only thing that makes me nervous about this is you have the bias of being a Giants fan and watching your team lose to this team, and I do not think Seattle is as good as people think they are. They are still 4-4, and their defense is pretty bad. So it makes me nervous, but the odds are good. And you're going on the road. If it was, if you had the 12th man and it was loud in Seattle, that's definitely an advantage. But you are going down to Arizona.
Fucking Arizona. What is their record at home for the last 2 years, dude? Go look it up. It's 1 in 80.
And by the way, Kingsbury is such a douchebag. Watching the Vikings game, they're in a dome and he's got dark shades on.
He's a cunt.
He looks like the villain from Django Unchained with his stupid sunglasses.
8 in a row at one point at home.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
Arizona's not a home field advantage. It's a place to have the Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah, they're 7-1 in the last 2 years at home.
So the opposite.
Or 7-11. I'm sorry, I missed.
Okay,
7-11.
All right. 7-1 is a
7-1 would have been terrible
swing.
for my argument. Yeah. Been really bad for my argument. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
No, they don't even have a winning record. They're sub 400 at home.
Yeah.
There's no home field advantage in Arizona.
Look, man, your record this season compared to mine is very good. So I will let you choose, and I'm not going to shit on it. It just makes me nervous.
Doing the fucking thing for you, Lucas.
Thanks.
Check. Who wants to go next?
I got my game.
Go ahead.
Let me hear it.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers -3 over the LA Rams.
Oh, man.
Now, Cooper Kupp is going to play.
I'm not scared.
His ankle is fine.
He's their offense. If that's their offense, I'm not afraid. I think Brady has a comeback game. -3. That's
a good week to bet against Brady.
Oh.
He's got Donald coming at him. He's got Jalen Ramsey to throw at. It's a good week to bet against Brady if you're going to bet against Brady.
His stock is the lowest it's been in a long time.
And it's going to go lower. Hopefully. It's going to go lower. Even if he was doing prime time, there's nothing Chris Collinsworth can say that's going to make his play look better than it has been.
Honest question, Brendan. Who do you rather have, Matthew Stafford or Tom Brady?
I'd rather have Stafford at this point in their careers.
Just for a season?
Just for a season. I'd rather have Brady has so much. But look, even all the play aside, just the distractions, because Tom Brady is such a celebrity on top of just being a football superstar, that this whole, divorce thing, this has been going on since the summer when everyone thought he was going to be the Masked Singer. So there's just a huge distraction in the locker room. And I would much rather have Matt Stafford. Who's won a Super Bowl more recently?
Me too. A healthy Matthew. I don't think Matthew Stafford's healthy. I don't think he has been all season.
That elbow is bugging him.
It's fucked, dude.
But it also doesn't help that his offensive line sucks, and he's taken hard hits every week.
Both of them have had offensive line issues, and neither of them are quarterbacks that you need.
Yeah,
they're people you have to protect.
Brady, like I've been saying, it's the funniest thing. He is smart enough to know I'm not taking a hit. He just lays down before the guys hit him.
Yeah.
But I would bet against Brady. I'm betting against Brady every week. I would take the Rams, but it's your call, and you can take the Bucks.
Oh, look at you, fucking
if you
Mr.
want to
Rain
lose
on
money,
everyone's
you want to
parade.
lose money, go ahead. That's fine.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's
Rain on
my
everyone's
money that we're
parade.
technically losing, but we could have made you
Good.
money, and now we're losing it.
Good.
Let's lose it.
Lose it. I like that. I like that. Fuck you, Brenton. And whatever game you pick, I'm going to shit all over this game.
Go ahead and shit on it. The Packers are coming back against the Lions. Lions can't stop shit. They just fired their defensive back coach. Like, that's going to fix the problem.
By the fucking,
they're
they
giving
got lit up by the
400 yards a game. You know how crazy that is? 400. 300 is bad. They're giving up 400 yards a game on defense. So even though Rodgers has been bad.
Who's going to throw the ball to?
Well, Lazard's probably going to be back this week. Romeo Doubs looked pretty good against Buffalo.
Yeah, he made one of the catches of the decade.
Yeah, so, they're coming on.
Wait.
And by the way, Lions can't stop the run either, and Aaron Jones looked pretty damn good. So
I'm going out to get a Lions fucking jersey.
I'm going to get off. It's 3.5. I'm going to buy up and get it to 3 because I don't like that half. But give me the Packers -3 in Detroit.
No way, dude. I'm getting a Dan Campbell tattoo on my back. I'm getting a Lions jersey.
Look,
Fuck you,
Dan
Brent.
Campbell has them playing great in the first half, and then they are not closing. They didn't score a single point in the second half. They had 27 points in the first half of that game last week. So
yeah, I mean, they played Miami, dude.
I know, but he is in trouble if he doesn't figure out how to teach this team how to win. If they can't finish, he's gone, if not this year, early next year. He's a great coach, but you gotta win. Just being a good leader that does up downs with your players, like it only goes so far. With them. Gotta fucking win.
1-6 ain't gonna cut it. What does that net us if all those things happen? And in the meantime,
so we have the Packers -3. We have the Seahawks on the money line +110. We have the Buccaneers -3. $50 is going to net us $321.58.
We're gonna make that money. We're gonna make that money, and if we don't, it's gonna be Brenton's fault. And you heard it here first. I will be at the
Packers
Rhythm
are the only
Casino,
team winning this.
Davenport, Iowa. This Saturday night, 2 shows, and then the following weekend I'll be at the Addison Improv in Addison, Texas, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets at steverenneseasy.com. You guys have anything else you want to plug before we get out of here?
Hollywood Improv this Friday night, and then I'm at Zany's Rosemont in Chicago the following Friday and Saturday.
Amazing. We'll both be in the middle of America. I'll be in Addison. You'll be in Chicago. It's almost like we could hold hands, Brenton. That's the podcast for this week. Thank you. I'm sorry we didn't make you money. If you're, this week we'll make up for it, probably.
Yeah.
But we've done well so far. So thank you for telling people, rating, subscribing, listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. And thanks to Jake, who's been producing this and doing a great job for us.
Yes, thank you, Jake, for making us less sloppy than we already are. We appreciate it. Getting it out in a timely fashion, too. It's probably fucking filthy, but
this took us 12 minutes to get going this morning, so it's still pretty sloppy.
Getting lipstick on this pig that is our podcast. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy.